All right, so you're getting ready for a sign maker interview,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a field that blends creativity with hands-on skills.
Definitely.
And we've got a stack of resources from RoleCatcher.
Right.
Career guides,
Mm-hmm.
interview guides,
Yeah.
even insights into their AI tools to help you nail this.
Awesome.
So think of this deep dive as your secret weapon, going beyond typical interview prep to uncover what really matters to employers in this field.
I like that.
So first, let's set the stage.
Okay.
What does a sign maker actually do? More than just putting letters on a board.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's
Right.
way more.
Okay.
It's really more about visual communication brought to life.
Okay.
You're blending creativity, those technical skills, and even a bit of problem solving when you're out on site.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the guide emphasizes the diversity of projects too.
Yeah.
Flyers, traffic signs, billboards, even installing and maintaining them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of hats to wear.
It is a lot.
So interviewers are going to be looking for someone adaptable with a wide skill set.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this RoleCatcher interview guide.
Okay.
It has 10 common questions. Let's just hit some highlights.
Sounds good.
Okay, so question number 1, experience with design software.
Yes.
This one is key.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably ask something like, can you tell us about your experience with design software?
Yeah. And it's crucial. They want to know you're comfortable with the tools of the trade.
Right, so beyond just listing the programs,
Yeah.
What kind of details should I be prepared to share?
Well, think about specific projects where you use those programs effectively.
Okay.
So maybe you design a really complex logo in Illustrator
Yeah?
or created a multi-layered sign layout in CorelDRAW.
Uh-huh.
You can briefly walk them through your process and highlight the design choices you made and the technical skills that you applied.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to get a little bit technical here because
Right.
it shows that you really understand the software.
So it's not just about knowing the programs. It's about showcasing how you've actually used them to solve design problems.
Exactly.
Okay, so question number 2, ensuring accuracy.
Yeah,
Attention to detail is huge in this job.
absolutely.
Think spelling errors on a giant billboard.
Oh my gosh.
Costly mistake.
Huge.
So how do you convince them that you're a meticulous sign maker?
Well, you share your process.
Okay.
Do you double check those measurements?
Mm-hmm.
Use checklists. Maybe you have a specific system for proofing your text,
Yeah.
whatever your method is. Lay it out clearly.
That makes a lot of sense. It shows that you're proactive about preventing those kinds of errors.
Right.
Okay, so let's move on to question number 3, workload prioritization.
Okay.
Deadlines are real in any creative field. How do you juggle multiple projects?
Ah, yes, the eternal struggle of juggling multiple projects and deadlines.
Yeah.
But it's your chance to really highlight those organizational superpowers.
So I shouldn't just say I'm organized.
Probably not. No, give them a concrete example. Describe a time when you successfully managed competing priorities.
Right.
Maybe you had a rush order that came in
Yeah.
while you were working on a really complex long-term project.
Yeah.
How did you allocate your time and resources?
Yeah.
Did you have to maybe adjust your schedule or delegate tasks?
Uh-huh.
The key is to show them that you could handle that pressure
Right.
and deliver high-quality work on time.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. It's all about showing, not just telling.
Absolutely.
Okay, so question number 4,
All right.
troubleshooting problems.
Oh, yeah.
Things go wrong.
Hmm.
A printer jams, materials arrive damaged.
Yep.
How do you think on your feet?
So this is where you really want to share a story, a specific time that you encountered a sign-making snag and how you solved it.
Right, like, give me an example.
Well, I've definitely had my share of on-site surprises over the years.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, think about a time you encountered a snag, maybe the printer jammed.
Yeah.
Or those materials arrived damaged. Or maybe you discovered a design flaw at the last minute.
Oh, no.
Yeah, what steps did you take to resolve the issue? Did you
right.
have to improvise?
Yeah,
This is your chance to demonstrate those problem-solving skills and
Right.
how resourceful you are.
absolutely. And it shows you can handle the unexpected.
Exactly.
Love that.
Mm.
All right, question number 5, staying up to date.
Yes.
The sign industry is constantly evolving. New tech, new trends.
All the time.
How do you stay in the loop?
Yeah, so this is crucial for any field, but especially one that's as dynamic as sign making,
Right.
because new materials, software techniques, even digital signage, it's constantly evolving.
Mhm.
So interviewers want to see that you're passionate about learning and you're staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, so how do I show them that I'm not stuck in the past?
We can mention specific industry blogs or publications that you follow,
Yeah.
conferences you've attended, online courses that you've taken,
Right.
or even just some interesting articles you've read recently. It could even be as simple as following influential designers or sign-making companies on social media.
Right.
What matters is demonstrating your genuine interest in the field's future.
That makes sense. They want to see that spark of curiosity and that enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for a challenge. What's the next question?
All right. Question 6 is your time to shine.
Oh, good.
So they'll likely ask something like, can you provide an example of a particularly challenging sign-making project you worked on and how you overcame any obstacles?
Okay, so this is where I get to brag a little bit.
This is it.
Okay.
You choose a project that really pushed your skills and highlights those problem-solving abilities.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to get technical here.
Got it.
Talk about those specific challenges that you faced, the decisions you made, and the steps you took to overcome those obstacles.
Right.
Maybe you had to work with a unique shape or navigate a tricky installation,
Yeah.
or maybe even manage a really demanding client.
Right.
This is your chance to demonstrate your expertise and passion for the craft.
I'm already thinking about which project I would share.
Good.
Okay, question number 7.
Yes.
Shifting gears to the collaborative side of things.
All right.
How do you approach working with clients to ensure their satisfaction with the final product?
Yes.
Tell me, how important are people skills in this field?
Oh, they're essential because you're not just making signs for yourself.
Right.
You're bringing someone else's vision to life.
Yeah.
And clients can have strong opinions, and sometimes those opinions don't really align with design principles or practical limitations.
Oh, I bet that happens all the time.
All the time.
So how do I convince them that I can handle those tricky situations gracefully?
So this is another great opportunity for a good story.
Okay.
Share an anecdote about a time that you successfully navigated that client feedback.
Yeah.
Maybe you even had to push back a little bit when necessary.
Right.
For example, like, what if a client insisted on using a font that was completely illegible from a distance? Right. So you could say something like, well, I had this client who was really attached to this very ornate font for their storefront sign. While I appreciated their aesthetic choice, I explained to them that it might be difficult to read from across the street.
Yeah.
We then worked together to find a similar font that was both stylish and legible, and they were really thrilled with the final result.
I love that.
Yeah.
Shows you can balance client needs with your expertise and find solutions that work for everyone.
Absolutely.
Speaking of solutions, question number 8 takes a turn towards the legal side of things.
Okay.
How do you ensure that the signs you create are in compliance with local and national regulations?
This one's crucial.
Right.
Signs have to meet safety standards, zoning codes, accessibility guidelines.
Yeah.
There's a whole world of regulations to navigate.
I bet.
Interviewers want to know that you're not cutting corners, that you take these things seriously.
So how do I prove that I'm a responsible sign maker who respects the rules?
It's about showcasing your process. Do you have a system for researching those local codes?
Yeah.
Do you stay informed about changes in regulations?
Mm-hmm.
Do you consult with experts when needed?
Okay.
Something as simple as saying, well, I always double-check my designs against the city's sign ordinance,
Yeah.
just to make sure that everything is compliant,
Oh,
from the
sure.
size and placement to the illumination and materials.
Right.
That shows that you're proactive and detail-oriented.
All right. Law-abiding sign makers unite.
Yeah.
What's next on our list of interview questions?
All right, so question 9 shifts gears to leadership.
Okay.
How do you manage a team of sign makers to ensure the quality and consistency of the final product?
Okay, so the teamwork question.
Yes.
Even if I haven't officially managed a
Right.
team before, I can probably pull from like group projects or volunteer experiences. Or
Absolutely. This question is all about those core leadership skills.
Okay.
Communication, delegation, giving feedback, setting standards, and motivating others.
Yeah.
Think about a time when you successfully led a team, even in a less formal setting.
Yeah.
You know, how did you ensure that everyone was on the same page?
Right.
The work was high quality,
Mhm.
that deadlines were met.
Okay, so I could say something like, when working on group projects, I always made sure everyone understood their role and the overall goals.
Yeah.
I believe in open communication and regular check-ins to make sure we're all on the same page and the quality of work is consistent.
Perfect.
Okay.
It shows you can rally a team
Yeah.
and create a positive and productive environment.
All right. I'm feeling more confident about this teamwork stuff.
Good.
Now bring on the final boss, question number 10.
Here we go.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to manage a difficult client or project?
Oh, because let's face it, things go wrong. Deadlines shift, clients get demanding,
That's tough.
materials arrive damaged.
Yeah.
So how do we approach this question?
So interviewers want to see how you handle pressure,
Yeah.
conflict, and setbacks.
Hmm.
So choose a story that showcases your problem-solving skills, your ability to stay calm under pressure, and your commitment to finding solutions.
Yeah.
Don't dwell on the negative aspects of the situation.
Right.
Focus on the steps that you took to overcome that challenge and the positive outcomes you achieved.
So it's not about complaining about a difficult client.
No.
It's about highlighting my ability to navigate those challenges effectively.
Exactly. Like, for example, you could describe a time when a client kept changing their mind about the design,
Yeah.
which caused delays and frustration.
Right.
Explain how you patiently managed those expectations, you communicated clearly, and ultimately you delivered a product that they were happy with,
Yeah.
even with those ongoing changes.
It's about being flexible.
Exactly.
Okay, this is where a great story can really set me apart.
Yeah.
It's not just about what went wrong, but how I showed resilience, creativity, and that unwavering dedication to quality.
Yes.
Okay, so we've covered these questions in depth, but RoleCatcher offers some incredible tools that can help you tailor your answers even further.
Oh.
So remind me, how can their AI help me with my interview prep?
So it's pretty amazing, actually.
Oh.
They can analyze job descriptions and give you personalized feedback on your answers.
Wow.
Imagine getting specific tips on how to improve your clarity,
Okay,
conciseness, and your overall delivery.
so it's like having a virtual interview coach in my pocket.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it can also help tailor your CV to match specific keywords and skills that the employer is looking for,
Okay,
giving you a real competitive edge.
that is incredible. I'm definitely checking that out.
You won't regret it.
Okay, now shall we move on to the next batch of questions?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's keep this momentum going.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered some of those key questions about design software, accuracy, workload management, troubleshooting, staying current, and even tackling those challenging projects.
Yeah.
So you're well on your way to showcasing your technical skills and problem-solving abilities.
Yeah, I'm feeling much more prepared already.
Good.
But what about the softer skills, like working with clients and being a team player?
Yeah.
Those are important too.
Oh, absolutely. Those skills can often be the deciding factor in whether you land the job.
Okay.
So let's revisit question 7,
Okay.
which focused on that client collaboration. How do you approach working with clients to ensure their satisfaction with the final product?
So this is where my people skills come in, right? I need to show them that I can handle those tricky client interactions
Yes.
with grace and professionalism.
Exactly. Remember, you're not just making signs for yourself. You're bringing someone else's vision to life.
Right.
And sometimes that vision might need a little guidance.
Yeah, I can only imagine. What if a client has a design idea that's just not going to work?
Right.
Like using a font that's impossible to read from a distance. How do I handle that?
That's a perfect example. It's about finding a balance between respecting the client's vision and offering your expertise. You could say something like, I had this client who was really attached to a specific font for their storefront sign. And while I appreciated their aesthetic choice, I explained that, the font was beautiful. It might be difficult to read from across the street.
Right.
So we worked together to find a similar font that was both stylish and legible, and they ended up loving the final result.
I like that. That's a great way to showcase your communication and problem-solving skills. You're not just saying no to the client.
Right.
You're finding a solution that meets their needs.
Exactly.
While also adhering to design principles.
It's about being a collaborator, not just a contractor.
I like that. Okay, let's shift gears to question number 8.
Okay.
Which delves into the legal side of sign making.
Okay.
How do you ensure that the signs you create are in compliance with local and national regulations?
Yeah. So this is an area where a lot of candidates stumble, so it's a great opportunity to stand out.
You're right. I haven't really thought much about the legal aspects of sign making.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot to consider.
There is. Signs have to meet safety standards, zoning codes, accessibility guidelines. The list goes on.
I bet.
And failing to comply with these regulations can result in, fines, lawsuits, and even safety hazards.
Yeah.
So interviewers really want to see that you're aware of these regulations and take them seriously.
Okay, so how do I demonstrate my commitment to doing things by the book?
Yeah.
Should I memorize every single regulation?
Well, that's not really necessary. It's more about demonstrating your process
Okay.
and your willingness to learn.
Oh, yeah.
So you could say something like, well, I always begin a project by researching those local sign ordinances and any relevant national regulations.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure to understand the requirements for size, placement, illumination, materials, and accessibility. And if I have any questions, I consult with experts to ensure I'm fully compliant.
Okay, so that shows I'm taking a proactive and responsible approach to sign making.
Yeah.
It's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
It's about safety and compliance as well.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to question number 9, which focuses on leadership.
Okay.
How do you manage a team of sign makers to ensure the quality and consistency of the final product?
All right. This question can be a little tricky, especially if you haven't had a lot of formal leadership experience.
Yeah, I haven't officially managed a team before,
Mm-hmm.
but I've definitely taken on leadership roles in like group projects and volunteer work.
Okay.
Is that relevant here?
Absolutely. The interviewer is really looking for those core leadership qualities.
Okay.
Communication, delegation, giving feedback, setting standards, and motivating others.
Yeah.
Think about a time when you successfully led a team,
Okay.
even in a less formal setting.
Right.
How did you ensure that everyone was on the same page, that
Yeah.
the work was high quality and that deadlines were met?
Okay. I'm starting to see how my experiences outside of formal work can be valuable here. I can talk about a time when I led a group project in college and how I assigned tasks, facilitated communication,
Yeah.
and helped everyone stay on track. I even implemented a system for peer review to ensure the quality of our work.
Perfect. That's a great example. It highlights your leadership potential, even if you haven't held an official management title.
Okay, good.
Now, are you ready for the final interview question?
Bring it on. I'm feeling much more prepared now. What is it?
All right, the final question is often one of the most challenging.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to manage a difficult client or project?
Oh, I'm sure everyone has at least one story about a difficult client or a project that went sideways.
Yes.
What's the best way to approach this question?
So the interviewer wants to see how you handle pressure, conflict, and setbacks.
Okay.
So choose a story that showcases your problem-solving skills,
Hmm.
your ability to stay calm under pressure, and your commitment to finding solutions.
Hmm.
Don't dwell on the negative aspects of the situation, but focus on the steps you took to overcome the challenge and the positive outcomes that you achieved.
Okay, so it's not about complaining about a difficult client.
Yeah.
It's about highlighting my ability to navigate those challenges effectively.
Exactly. Like, for example, you could describe a time when a client kept changing their mind about the design,
Right.
causing delays and frustration.
Yeah.
Explain how you patiently managed those expectations. You
Mhm.
communicated clearly, and ultimately you delivered a product that they were happy with, even with those ongoing changes.
That's a great example. It shows that I can handle difficult situations with professionalism and grace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We should.
Is there anything else I should keep in mind as I prepare for this interview?
Well, we've talked about the importance of showcasing your skills,
Yeah.
sharing those compelling stories, demonstrating your knowledge of the field, but don't forget about the power of preparation.
Right. I need to do my research on the company. Practice my answers
Mm-hmm.
and make sure I have some thoughtful questions to ask them as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a two-way street after all.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of RoleCatcher's AI tools.
Okay.
They can help refine your answers, tailor your CV to that specific job description, and even provide feedback on your overall interview performance.
So it's like having a personal interview coach right at my fingertips.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to be using those tools.
Good.
Now, are we ready to wrap up this deep dive?
Almost before we conclude, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder as you embark on this exciting career path.
Oh, I love a good parting thought. Lay it on me.
All right, so think about all the signs that you encounter in your daily life.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
What makes a sign truly effective?
Okay.
What captures your attention?
Yeah.
What makes you want to learn more?
Right.
What evokes an emotion?
That's a great question. We're bombarded with so much visual information these days
Yeah.
that a sign really has to work hard to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about being pretty.
Yeah.
It's about conveying a message,
Exactly.
creating an experience, and making a lasting impression.
As a sign maker, you have the power to shape how people interact with the world around them.
Right.
You can inform, inspire, delight, and even provoke thought.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful role to play in the visual landscape of our society.
Wow. I hadn't thought about it like that before.
Yeah,
It's not just about making signs, it's about contributing to the visual fabric of our world.
exactly.
Yeah.
So as you prepare for this interview and beyond,
Yeah.
remember to think critically about the impact of your work.
Okay.
What kind of signs do you want to create?
Mm-hmm.
What message do you want to send?
This deep dive has been incredible. I've gone from feeling nervous and unprepared to feeling excited and confident
I bet
about this interview and the possibilities that lie ahead.
that's what we're here for. And remember, you got this with your skills, your passion, and a little help from RoleCatcher. You're well on your way to a fulfilling career in sign making.
I believe you. I'm excited.
Uh,
Okay, so I feel like we've covered everything from design software to client relations to the legal side of sign making. I'm ready to rock this interview.
I love that attitude. And hey, don't forget, RoleCatcher has those fantastic AI tools
Oh, yeah.
that can help you refine your answers and tailor your CV even further.
Right.
Don't hesitate to use those. They can give you a real edge in a competitive job market.
Yeah, those sound like a game changer. I'm definitely going to check them out.
Sure.
But before we wrap up this whole deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything else that I should keep in mind as I prepare for this interview?
Well, preparation is key, of course.
Right.
Research the company, practice your answers, and prepare some thoughtful questions to ask them.
Yeah.
But beyond those practicalities, remember that the interview is a two-way street.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's not just about them assessing you, it's also about you assessing them.
Yeah, I sometimes get so focused on, like impressing them
Yeah.
that I forget that I'm also trying to decide if this is the right fit for me.
Right, exactly. So go in with a curious mindset.
Okay.
Ask those questions about the company culture, the team you'd be working with, the types of projects they handle, and the opportunities for, growth and development.
Right.
Get a sense of whether their values align with yours and if you can see yourself thriving in that environment.
Yeah, I love that perspective. It's about finding the right fit for both sides.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about those specific interview questions and how to approach them, but are there any sort of overarching themes or key takeaways that I should kind of keep in mind?
There are a few things that will really, make you stand out as a top candidate.
Okay.
First and foremost, storytelling is your superpower.
Oh.
Don't just give those generic answers. Use specific examples from your experience to illustrate your skills and qualities.
So instead of saying, I'm a great communicator,
Yeah.
tell a story about a time when I successfully navigated a difficult conversation or presented a complex idea in a clear and compelling way.
Exactly. Those stories will make you memorable and give the interviewer a glimpse into who you are as a person and as a professional.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And secondly, be prepared to showcase your process.
Okay.
Whether it's your design process, your approach to problem solving, or your system for ensuring quality control.
Right.
Interviewers want to see that you have a structured and thoughtful approach to your work.
It's like giving them a peek behind the curtain,
Exactly.
showing them how my mind works.
Yes. And finally, don't be afraid to get a little technical,
Okay.
This is your chance to really demonstrate your expertise and passion for sign making.
Right.
Talk about the software you're proficient in, the materials you love working with, and the challenges you enjoy tackling. Let your enthusiasm shine through.
Okay. I'm going to embrace my inner sign-making nerd.
I love it.
I'm starting to feel really excited about this interview and the possibilities that lie ahead.
That's the spirit. And remember, you got this with your skills, your passion, and a little help from RoleCatcher. You're well on your way to a fulfilling career in sign making.
I believe it. This deep dive has been incredible.
Awesome.
I feel so much more prepared and confident. Now, thank you for all the insights and advice.
It's been my pleasure. Now go out there and rock that interview.
I will. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of sign making. We'll see you next time for another insightful exploration of a fascinating career path.